Hello guys, we welcome back to BreakIN, the path of the aspiring comic book artists. The guy with the accent is on the microphone again, and this is episode 98. And for this episode, as you can see, I'm working on this painting for the video game that I'm working on. It's just a concept art piece, which is okay. It's okay if I show it to you. I mean, it could just remain as an idea, as a concept, or it could be fully developed into something in the video game. But you guys will know whenever the game comes out, which it's okay and it's exciting. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about this couple last weeks, or last week. I don't remember when I uploaded. Anyway, I got a green light for this project. I'm illustrating these theatrical plays. A play, a script for the theater, live action theater. I don't know how to say it in English. Maybe I said it correctly. Anyway, I'm illustrating 15 scripts, which is a big project, which is also paying pretty good. And it's exciting because, it's a script and you illustrate an idea, and these are gonna be the covers for my client to show around and to show to some other editors or producers and stuff when it comes to the theater, which I guess I have a big responsibility on this project because whatever I do, it's gonna have a big impact on the success of my client's project, which is okay. I mean, I'm always giving my 100% professionally. I mean, it's just the way I was taught in the Cuber school, and I'm pretty excited for that project. Aside from that, for the paintball comic book, my client received issue 3, and he is pretty happy about the results about it. And I'm working again on issue 4, and this is the last issue for this client, which is also very exciting. Is you when it comes to that comic book in specific, again, yes, it took me such a long time to finish, but you can see the progression from the first issue that I was doing actually while I was working on the Cuber school, and this last issue 3, which is 2 or 3 years after graduation. And it's just pretty interesting to see the progression with the years. You just don't notice it while you're doing it, but then you look back and it is there. The progress, the experience is there. So I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for any other artist out there working in their craft and stuff, either if it is a hobby or for a professional work out there. It's just something that any artist experience with time. Anybody can see their progression from when they were 5, from 2 years ago, from 1 year ago, some people from 6 months ago, which is pretty insane. That just speaks about how hard they work on their craft, whether it is music, whether it is painting, just drawing or sculpting, or any other technique when it comes to art. Coming back to this piece that I'm working over here, this is just a concept art piece for the video game that I'm working on, which is a pretty exciting project. I think you guys are not as tired from when I was talking about finishing the comic book, but I'm mentioning it a lot because, it's one of the main projects that I'm working on right now. And yes, it is very, very exciting to me. Again, when I joined the Cuber School, of course, it was because I wanted to because I want to work in comics, but mainly because I wanted to get better on my art, because I wanted to look at my art and I wanted to show my art around, and I wanted to see the expression on people when they would say, "Oh, he's pretty good," or whatever. I want to do good, as any artists out there, or at least my friends, I know they also want to be great and break into the industry and stuff. And that's just a part of the goal, I think, to get better. As for this project, again, one of my goals when I entered the Cuber school was to become a decent enough artist to get a job on the commercial art. And video games were a big part of my childhood, and I would love it if I could get a job in the video game industry. Not more or probably at the same level as the comic book industry, because it is hard enough to get into the commercial art. So whether I get a job in the video game industry or the film industry or the comic book industry, well, it would be a huge success. But I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and this is something that I've been thinking for maybe not a long time, but recently. Is Ernesto, what is your main goal? What are you doing to achieve your main goal? And I personally couldn't say, I wouldn't say that my main first goal is to just do comic books for a living. As for now at least, because again, I'm interested in so many things right now. Mainly films, mainly video games, the concept art world, this way of working in commercial art and comics, of course, that I couldn't say that I specifically want to do something. You know what I mean? In the sense of, I want to do digital paintings for a living and forever. Well, no, maybe I want to do digital paintings now, and then I'm interested in going back to comics, or I just want to do pencils for comics, and then I get this huge interest in traditional painting. So I start doing commissions, or I start doing covers, or what stuff like that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot in my head right now that is not that that I haven't figured out what I want to do for a living, but it's more about what my life gets me to, in the sense of going with the flow, if I can say it like that, and doing my best on what I can do, and hope for the best, probably. Of course, with my objectives in mind. I mean, it's not that I'm just doing art because I like to or something. It's about doing art with a specific uh, goal, or I mean, I know where I want to get, but I don't know specifically if I want to sit there for the rest of my life doing such specific thing. And I really hope that I can uh, do these three things that I just talked about: films, video games, comics. And if I can do it, if I can jump around while working, for a living, I think that will be uh, something that I would really like, as that I would call success. Working on comics because they like my work, and then jumping back into video games because they like my work, and then maybe I got hired for some films because they like my work. That would be something that I could say, okay, I think I'm building a pretty decent career on art and commercial art, because again, nothing is competing with each other. It's not that you choose something and then the other things are bad or anything. No, no, no. It's art. It's commercial art, and I just want to do art for a living. So with those three objectives in mind. So I won't bother you guys. I won't bore you anymore with this. As you can see, I finished the piece, this concept art piece, which, I mean, I think it came out pretty decent. I think it's gonna serve the purpose of the video game, delivering an idea to my fellow partners. And well, I'm just gonna keep working. I'm just gonna keep at it, as any artist should do, trying to break into any industry in specific. So, well, you guys have a great week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.